Так, мне с моим бэкграундом что-нибудь сделать? Затемнить
Да
его?
нет, отлично все, мне кажется.
Так, хорошо. Постом меня сделал, да?
Нет еще, я пытаюсь понять, почему YouTube не хочет создавать стрим. Сейчас
Рано, что
сделаю
ли?
хостом. Так, сделал хостом.
Что-то сделать-то сделал. А, вот, все. Так, там, ща. Окей. Бдыш. Они же не сюда будут подключаться, а там на YouTube. То есть интересно, сейчас трансляция началась уже?
Мгм. Да,
Окей. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. This is our first experience holding a public webinar, and we appreciate any feedback. So we realized the demand for change quite a while ago, changing the control editor. The new control editor, which is about to be released, is more efficient when it comes to comprehensive databases with large number of brands and categories. And we restructured the layout significantly, and we believe it's become more user-friendly and unlocks the potential for future development. I assume today's attendees are familiar with the control editor and with dashboarding, so we will start by showcasing what's looming, how the new control editor differs from its predecessor. Then we will run a crash course on controls to help newcomers to get started. If you are proficient in dashboarding, feel free to leave early. Work time is precious at the end of the year. So I will start by showing two dashboards. One is with the new control editor and another one with the previous one. This is the old one, and I'm just opening the control editor. And first of all changes will be rolled out automatically on your server within the next 1 or 2 weeks. At some point, you will just notice this new functionality I'm going to describe. So no actions is expected from you. So everything is back to what is compatible. No new changes. You don't need to change existing controls and dashboards. Okay, so here's the retiring interface, and this one is coming, this dashboard, this one is coming to as a substitute. So let me remind you, so like the database as usual, the database and the code book is on the left where you can drag and drop to build your controls. Tabs, which represent groups in the controls, are here, and you can drag variables or categories to the drop zone here below the tabs into each tab individually. And look and feel settings here in this panel on the right. And the preview control, how it will look like on the dashboard, is shown down here below the tabs. So in the new layout, it will be a bit different. So again, the database is on the left in the same place. It doesn't change its location, but we decided to make the list of options of the control as a vertical scrollable list. So to avoid complications related to large amounts of options when they comes like this, it becomes quite messy very fast when you have a lot of options in your control. So editing, creating logical expressions, reordering, everything is quite clumsy, and the new control editor provides a much more intuitive and friendly interface. And what is more important, it's scalable. It doesn't add any complexity in management when your numbers are growing. So this is the list. Same way you can drag and drop your variables and categories into the list of groups. And the groups themselves, they are here. So same way you can create new groups, you can drag variables to create the same operations, same macro operations here. And and you can to look the full preview without abstraction, you can expand and collapse these vertical panels, and the preview and the look and feel of the control remains here on the right, where you can pick the option and how you want it to be presented, and so on. So that's the main difference. So every piece of functionality is transferred into this new control. And we also added some new nice features and so like usability sugar. So when you drag variables or categories to the list of options, control options, so the system, as well as on the cross tab, it provides you with macro operations. The list of these macro operations will be increasing in time. So the new ideas, by the way, if you have any new ideas, please welcome, send it to your contact manager, account manager. We will be improving and extending this functionality. So again, every option like before in the old control editor, so it's like you can change label here as well. You double click and you can change label. So here you can edit the actual logical expression, which so beneath every option of the control. Same thing you can do here, but you just press on this spin icon, which represent the logical expression across all over the system. So the same expression appears here. You can assemble anything you want, save it, and so all the features and functionalities are transferred here. It looks like a neat, it's standard, and provides consistent user experience across all the systems and all the groups. So if you have any questions, if you want to ask us something and you have an idea, just please write it into the comments and I will try to reply on them. So in terms of roadmap, short remark. This change so gives us much more flexibility for further evolution of the platform, and we are planning, as I said, to add more macros, macro functions, and provide more styling capabilities for the controls here on the left, and some new features and minor improvements already will be released together with these controls. And we are thinking about enabling you to create hierarchies in the group. So to make controls much more effective, much more comprehensive if needed. So the simplicity remains, but if you would like to make it more complicated, you will be able to in the future. So I think so. This is the main issue. So everything what was in the previous control editor is now available here. The main thing is that we change these chips tags so for options as well as in groups here when it comes to many groups and many features. So we create groups here. Same way you can drag and drop groups and create groups. You can edit them, so all the functionality, but we now use lists instead of chips and tabs. So, and now I will try to be like as fast and effective as possible. So this is the main change. It's significant. It's like this interface looks completely new. So now you won't be lost when you see this on your server. And I would like to switch and run through this new control editor and the dashboarding and show you like a crash course, an intro for new users who never did it, and just to give a feeling about what controls are, how to operate. These are general basics knowledge. So to start with dashboarding. So control types in a nutshell. let me bring, so what are controls? Controls is, so we call controls anything which allows the user, it could be buttons, it could be various types of checkboxes, it could be range. So there are plenty of different types of controls, so implemented in DataTile. But in a nutshell, at the end of the day, it comes to ability to select one or several options. So whatever type and so the look and feel of the control, it allows the user to pick one or several options. So single select means it's just one option can be selected. Multiple selects with checkboxes over the buttons, it's multiple options to be selected. So here's this control here. It allows only one button to be clicked. This control allows several buttons to be clicked. Again, this one, again, this is multi-select control. It allows me to select several options. And but so in so structurally on the data level, it just comes down to some kind of a selection. So, and we will build these three controls from scratch to demonstrate how it works. So this is the button which allows me to create new controls. I click on it and it opens, DataTile opens the control editor interface. And what I need to do is just drag my variable here. I'm adding a list of options from the variable. It's male, female, and I will also add total. So here is the content of the control. And here is how the preview, how this control will look like. So this is single choice by default. We can see it in selection mode. This is single. And it's drop down. I will switch drop down to buttons, and we're getting this thing here. So you can toggle state here, so the buttons, and the selected state when you do it in the control editor means, so this is the default state. You are by setting here something, you declare it as a default state. It means that when your users will open your dashboard for the first time, this will be the state they will see on the control. So I'm saving it, placing it, and another important thing, you need to tell the system what you expect from your control. You need to explicitly tell it what you want it to how it should behave. So in relation to actually each item on the dashboard. So, and I want this control to filter this chart and this chart. So, and now when I click, it recalculates. So it applies as a filter, changing the base, changing the, so it's like, and another control. So I'm adding the second control now, and this time it will be age group. Okay, this is age group, single select, drop down. Again, I'm switching it to buttons, and I'm switching it to multiple select. And now multiple select means that all buttons could be on at the same time. And so I've selected all of them here. It means that this will be the default state on the dashboard. So save it. So all buttons on by default. And again, I'm assigning it as a filter. So the next thing here, so just to make it obvious, I will enable filter title for this chart. So the system will show me what filter is actually applied here. So total means no filtering. And when all options are selected, all buttons on, again, the system treats it as like no filtering. But when I click female, it writes here female. And when I select something else on the second control, it switches again and gives me the logical expression. It builds it automatically. So pay attention. So inside control. So when I select several options, it combines them with or, one meaning one of these selected options, and a cross control with and, logical and, meaning that female and one of these logical and one of these categories. So this, it's like in 95% of cases, this is what would you expect from applied filters. But so if you need more advanced behavior, of course, you can redesign and so like reconfigure this behavior for this particular chart, for this particular control, and make it as complicated as you want. So important thing to remember, whatever chart it is, here on the dashboard, it's a table. There is somewhere behind the chart, there is a table. Even if it's one row, one column, or one figure, it's still a table in terms of the data structure beyond the charting. And in DataTile, you can always trace back whatever figure you see on the screen. That's quite a nice and convenient thing. So because like usually when we look at the research reports in PowerPoint, for example, yes, we see the figures, we see the charts, and we understand what they are, but usually there is no single person who can tell you how it's calculated because it was generated by a SPSS script, then copy pasted, then somebody just configured and created the PowerPoint and sent it out. It's different people, different script, different systems with gaps closed manually. And it's quite error prone. And in DataTile, it's like monolith. So you can always trace back every figure to raw data. And so again, there is a table beyond the chart. I click edit button. Of course, if I have access to the database, it sends me back to the original crosstab or grid report or whatever request, run or calculation which sits behind the chart, and it can show me where the brands come from, where every column come from, what filters split values, metrics, what are they, how it's calculated. So, and it has rows, it has columns, it has third dimension split filter, and so on. So you can check everything but down to the raw data. Okay, so we will create a third control. We are looking at here at top of mind brands. Again, on row here in the crosstab, top of mind, brand one, top of mind, brand two from top of mind. So it's trend for top of mind variable here. And I will create control, which allows me to switch brands. So I'm again creating this control here. I take top of mind, drag it here, and these are my brands, and drop down single select. I'm switching it to multiple select. And by the way, so it multiple selects, and I make all brands selected by default. And also because there is no sense in not selecting a brand in this on this dashboard and this chart, I can also switch unselect forbidden. So I forbid unselect all. So save it. Here is my new control. And now I'm assigning it not as a filter, but I'm substituting, putting it on rows of the crosstab, which is below the chart, to that particular table. So on rows here and on rows there. And now when I toggle this control, it again recalculates and changes, substitutes the rows and gives me the recalculations. And by the way, so since I forbid the unselection, it doesn't let me to unselect the last option in the control. So next thing, what if, okay, switching brands one by one, not a big deal. What if I want to change the whole KPI? So top of mind to prompted awareness to and unaided awareness and so on. So I can do it. Again, back to the control editor, and this is what groups are for. So I'm calling this is top of mind, and I will create two other groups, one per variable. So create group per variable. So in this group, I have unaided awareness. In this group, I have prompted awareness. I will collapse it. And now, and selection mode from multiple to single again. This is the default. And now the system understands, since I have groups, system understands that I want to operate not by one with those options and features, but I want to toggle, I want to switch the whole bunch of categories by groups. So I save it. I don't need to reassign it because they already have been assigned. And now I'm switching top of mind, unaided awareness, prompted awareness. And this is how you can create as many combinations as you want, whatever KPIs, whatever filters. And if you want to build the cross-tab, let's create a final fourth control. And this time I will create groups. I will drag the whole demographics folder here. And I will assign it, save it. So this is the demographics folder. This is demographics control. I will assign it on the control down here. So, and I will substitute not rows again, but columns. And now I'm looking at this chart by gender, by age groups. And by the way, I have blanks here because these are filters. They worked all together perfectly. So I can switch on and off. So by regions and so on. So if we count how many combinations we have here, it's probably a few thousand. So all possible charts and cross tabs and cross sections, weighted, unweighted. We spent 10, 15 minutes creating this single page dashboard, and you covered the report, which would be in Excel, contains thousands of tables. And it would take like 5 minutes just to navigate to the figure you would like to look at. And here is everything on the fingertips, and you don't need to spend time just for logistics and data crunching in Excel. So you can easily share this dashboard. You can easily update if you want to add some new KPIs or cross sections. You can easily do it. And so this is a single page. If you need more pages, or so you have more complicated dashboards, you just put on menu and create as many tabs as you need. Here they are. And you can create, again, if you have too many of them, you can create hierarchies. They are available here. It's searchable. So yeah, this is it. So you can provide your users with simple and nice looking dashboards. You can provide them with the data. More proficient users and analysts would be happy to have access to the database. And this is basics of the controls, but they are already quite powerful. And so I think that will do for today. And if somebody would like to have a more deep dive training on the controls, please contact us. We can so run another session about how it's like about advanced techniques. So I think yeah, I have everything. So if you have any questions, please ask in the comments. I will be happy to answer. If not, so uh, have a great day, evening, and let's wrap up. Thank you.